a quick health update, and I also wanted to talk about cannabis, and chronic illness, and what the benefits are and what the side effects of the different cannabises that I use and whatever. Anyways, going into the video. So I have a long history of medical issues, and it's a long one. Without going into too much detail in this video, because it'll just be a long ass video and I don't want to bore you guys. So basically I have an autoimmune condition, and it's a very rare condition. It's not a well-known one. It's called Behçet's disease. It is a vascular condition. So it attacks my veins, my arteries, capillaries, my nervous system, my skin, my GI, my mouth, even the genital area and the buttocks. Sorry to be a little graphic there, but let's be honest, autoimmune likes those areas and tend to attack them. So a lot of people don't talk about that, but I'd rather talk about the nitty-gritty of it and be real. Autoimmune diseases are awful, and I've lived with it for many, many years. It took me many, many years to get my diagnosis. As you guys know, with my older videos, I also have endometriosis, stage 4. I had my surgery 3 years ago, and it was a 6-hour surgery, and it took me 3 months to recover. Because I'm immunocompromised, I ended up getting an infection after surgery, and it just delayed my healing time. So that's that. The other condition I have is dysautonomia, which is a neurological condition. It basically affects the autonomic nervous system, so it causes blood pooling. So when I stand up, I have a hard time adjusting, and sometimes I can almost pass out. Luckily, I've only passed out a couple times, so I usually know to sit down right away if I get up too fast or whatnot. Sometimes when I'm really, really flaring with the Behçet's or even my endometriosis, my dysautonomia can just go haywire, and basically I'm out of commission for like a week, and I can't really walk around very well. I do have a walker that I use. It's a tool that I use, especially when I'm really flaring and I can't handle walking around long periods of time or standing, and it's just to give me a chair remotely when I need it. Sometimes I do not need it. Sometimes I can walk around for hours and I feel fine, and I just need to sit down on a bench. But that's basically why I have the walker. So yeah, I am on a number of medications, a number of pain medications that I've slowly stopped using due to the fact that cannabis is now helping. But I do require one pain management medication that I do need for more serious pain that I deal with, especially when I'm going through a major flare, which usually ends up lasting a good week to 2 weeks. And that's the Butrans subdermal patches. Due to the fact that my GI system does not work very well, my colon is half paralyzed, so I don't digest well. And because of that, my whole GI system is very slow. So I'm not supposed to be taking painkillers orally. So that's why we've decided to do this, and it has helped a lot for my bad pain. So that's kind of it, history on my health. So yeah, basically the hospital a couple weeks ago, they thought I had shingles. So I'm just going to give you a short story here. They thought I had shingles. I did not have shingles. I did have a very, very bad case of vasculitis on my skin, and I still continuously have vasculitis on my skin. It seems to be attacking my back right now and my legs. And I have a couple on my hip in the front, but they're starting to get better with the higher meds that they put me on and the steroid. So it's been about a few days of the higher medication, and hopefully by next week things will start settling down. So basically that is a short update on the whole hospital situation. So going into what I really want to talk about, I want to talk about cannabis and how cannabis has really helped me. So basically, I've used cannabis on and off for a few years. I'm going to be honest here. Even before I was really, really in my bad health, I used it recreationally sometimes, like maybe once or twice a year. But I always kind of had negative side effects with it. If I ingested too much, it would make me feel really anxious, really uncomfortable, and it just wasn't pleasant for me. So I kind of just stopped using it. A few years ago, my pain doctor, who prescribes me any of my pain management medications, had suggested that I try cannabis. So I did. He did suggest that maybe try just straight CBD. And I'm sure a lot of people know what CBD is. It's a cannabinoid. It is, it's found in the hemp plant and in the marijuana plant. So it's found in, I believe, both. If I'm wrong there, then I'm wrong. But basically, CBD does not make you feel high. It more so gives you more of a relaxed feeling, kind of like if you were to take like a muscle relaxant. You kind of feel just a little bit more relaxed and just, I guess, not tired, but like you just go take a nap basically. It's just a really relaxing feeling. So what I found when I first started using CBD is it didn't really help my stomach. And that's one of the big problems. That's one of the big things that I really wanted it to help, was with my stomach issues. I have constant nausea. I have what's called cycled vomiting. So because my GI tract does not run very well, things get stuck and things tend to ferment in there, and I get sick. And I get chronic fevers and vomiting and just the whole 9 yards. It's not fun. That's when my GI tract is just too backed up. So I was hoping that the CBD at the time would help with that. And I was also hoping that it would help with the pain. Unfortunately, just straight CBD did not do anything for me except for alleviate some of my joint pain, which was okay. So my doctor and I talked again, and he said, okay, well, maybe cannabis is just not for you. But in the meantime, try the transdermal patch that I now have, the Butrans, and we'll go from there. The problem is, I did not want to feel like I was out of commission even more due to the side effects of the Butrans. Butrans tends to be more like you're taking morphine. You get very tired, a little out of it, and you just don't feel like you want to do anything. We're going into summer now, when I'm in pain and want to be able to go outside and enjoy the sun and just enjoy summer. I can't do that too well with the Butrans patch. And he wanted me to wear it all the time. And I honestly don't think I need that high of a pain killer every single day. I probably only really needed about 2 weeks out of the month, to be honest. So I decided to start using cannabis again. But this time I took it and I basically just went online and I did so much research on different types of strands, I guess, of cannabis. And what I found was full spectrum was rated better for people who who don't necessarily get the full benefits from just CBD. The full spectrum tends to be equal parts CBD and THC. So I have a sublingual right here. So this is just 1-to-1 full spectrum. It just goes under your tongue. And I found that this here works amazing. I can control how much I'm taking. It doesn't make me feel jittery or anxious. This is an indica dominant. It is not a sativa dominant. So I'm just going to go into indicas and sativas a little bit here. So an indica is something that is more of a body high that people talk about you get, versus sativa, you get more of an alert, more of an awake feeling. The problem is I'm so sensitive to cannabis. Sativas make me feel very anxious and paranoid, and I do not like those feelings. So I find with indicas, I'm less likely to feel that way. So I only go with indica dominant strands, not sativas. Although I do have one here that is a sativa dominant, which is this one, which is Haley's Comet, which I really like. It is a full spectrum gummy. This is the one that I started using first until I started making my own gummies, which I now do only. I do not buy gummies anymore. So basically, I really like this the best. I get the best benefit from it, and I'm sorry I cannot talk today, and I don't know why. But basically, I get the best benefit from the oil and the gummies that I make. So the gummies that I make, I actually use this oil to make these gummies. The gummies I tend to take about 5 to 6 a day. I like them because I can suck on them. They're slow release. I can control how much I'm taking. One gummy is about 1.5 milligrams of this oil. So this, if I was to take about one full dropper, I'm getting 8.33 milligrams of CBD and 8.3 milligrams of THC in one dropper. So that's one dose. I usually stick with only half. Like I said, I'm very sensitive to cannabis, so I just find I only need about half a dose at a time. If I need a little bit more, then I'll go with the full dose. Usually in the morning, I will take 1 to 2 drops of this, just enough to give me that relief from my nausea, because every single morning I'm so nauseous. I cannot function. I'm very nauseous. I'm very sore. It's the worst time of the day for me. I'm just virtually non-existent. It takes me a good hour or two to feel better. When I take this, it usually takes me about an hour to feel better. So it has helped me a lot. The other way I take cannabis is the dry herb way, which is using a vape pen. I don't use this a lot. I only use it once in a while during the day, especially if I want something very quick to alleviate nausea or some sort of pain that I'm experiencing. And I typically go for, once again, a 1-to-1 dry herb. So yeah, that's just a little bit about cannabis and what I use. Basically, CBD is great. It's not as strong for me versus the 1-to-1. I still use CBD, especially if I'm gonna make a gummy. I'll sometimes add a little bit more CBD and just add about a few doses of the full spectrum, just to give me a little bit more CBD versus THC, because again, I'm very sensitive to cannabis, so THC is usually the one that's more anxiety inducing for most people. So yeah, I will be making more videos about cannabis and different side effects of different herbs. I'll go into those details later on in other videos, but if anybody would like to share their stories in the comments with cannabis and their health issues, that'd be awesome. Or if you guys want to talk about a certain topic in another video, please let me know by commenting down below. In the meantime, please watch and subscribe to my channel. I really want to talk about cannabis a lot with health, and hopefully get down to information that people would really benefit from, especially if somebody who is like me, going through a lot of medical problems and really want to go more the natural route when it comes to pain management. Cannabis may actually benefit you a lot. So anyways, I'm gonna leave it at that, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video.